Must-see TV on Capitol Hill, where in just a few hours, the House Intelligence Committee opens the first congressional hearing into whether Russia meddled in the U.S. presidential election. Among the witnesses, FBI Director James Comey, who, as part of his testimony, might very well say publicly that there is no evidence that former President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower, despite the current president's claims, continued claims, without evidence to the contrary. Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, who is a member of the House Intelligence Committee, who will take the red eye from California to Washington to be part of those hearings tomorrow morning. Congressman, thank you so much for getting us on the way to the airport. There's been a lot of focus on the FBI director and whether he will he say that the president's claims about being wiretapped were false. Beyond that, what do you want to hear from him?
And beyond that is what is most important, because the claims by the president are merely smoke bombs to obstruct an investigation where the dots continue to connect this president, his team, and Russia. And the question that we all have is, are all of these deep personal, political, and financial ties to Russia just coincidences, or is it a convergence?
So you want him to basically answer the question tomorrow, was there collusion between Trump associates and Russia?
Well, whether anyone on Trump's team were working with Russia as they were attacking us. And now the FBI director may say that this is an open investigation, and we certainly would not want to compromise any work that they're doing right now. But I also think it's important that the American people understand just how significant the interference campaign was that Russia ran against the United States, and how important it is that we do something about it, because they're sharpening the knives right now and ready to come back at us, as well as our allies in France and Germany, who have elections coming up in pretty short order.
Now, you bring up a good point. The FBI director and Admiral Rogers, they may very well say that there are investigations. We don't comment on active investigations. Will you be satisfied with those answers?
Yes. What we want are assurances that they are pursuing all leads and following the evidence. Right now, we have no reason to believe that they aren't doing that. And so if an investigation is closed, I also think it would benefit the president and the American people to say these were all merely coincidences. But if they are not just coincidences, I think we want to pursue all of them, because it does seem quite unusual that so many people on the president's team had prior ties to Russia and were going over to Russia as Russia was attacking us.
And you keep mentioning what you call coincidences or dots that you want to see if they're connected. But again, Devin Nunes, the chair of the committee, says he's seen no evidence that there was collusion between Russia and Trump associates. Former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper says he has seen no such evidence. You are on the Intelligence Committee. You are privy to things that we are not. Do you dispute those comments that there is no evidence that they have seen that there is collusion?
Well, this is the first inning of the investigation, and so it's very early for us. And so that's why we're asking the FBI director to tell us what he can to make assurances that all leads will be pursued. But also, this is about looking forward. And I know that Americans, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, we want to know that when we go to the ballot box, these fights belong to us, and that no foreign adversary ever again will interfere in the way that Russia did.
Roger Stone, political consultant, someone who has been close on and off with Donald Trump, President Trump, over the years. The Senate Intelligence Committee has asked him to preserve records. He has admitted that he had contacts with Guccifer 2.0. Guccifer is a hacker who hacked into the DNC, claims he hacked into the DNC. He had contact with him after the hacks, Roger Stone says. Again, the Senate Intelligence Committee has asked him to preserve records. Is Roger Stone someone you would like to see come testify before your committee, the House Intelligence Committee? He says he would like to testify before Congress if it's public.
Yes, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Carter Page, Michael Flynn, I think are all very important witnesses. You know, and if you look at this in the best light toward the Trump team, it's just bad judgment that you would have so many connections as Russia is attacking us. But if you look at it in a more, I think, common sense light, it seems like as Russia's attacking us, these individuals are going over to Moscow or in communications with Moscow. That seems a lot more like they are working with Russia during our election.
Okay, Roger Stone did not work directly for the campaign. He is a Trump associate.
He was an advisor. Yeah.
He did not work for the campaign, not in the summer, not when these meetings are said to have taken place. And the meetings with the other Russians, with Ambassador Kislyak, you know, there are meetings between politicians and ambassadors, correct?
Right. Well, Roger Stone's not a politician. Carter Page is not a politician. And Jeff Sessions, who had met with the ambassador 2 times after it was revealed that Russia was attacking us, again, in the best light, that's bad judgment. But why would he deny under oath in front of a Senate panel that he had met with them. As a former prosecutor, when we would present that type of evidence to a jury, you would say that's a consciousness of guilt. You are covering up that for a reason.
Well, his honesty before the Senate is a separate issue. It seemed to be less than forthcoming. That's sure, but it doesn't necessarily get to the meetings themselves. These are questions, Congressman, you will get to ask tomorrow.
Coincidences or convergence, right?
We will be watching coincidence, convergence, questions. You have a red eye to catch. We will let you go. Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, thanks a lot for being with us. Appreciate it.